Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. And Doctor of Credit has put up a post late last night about the United Travel Bank and the American Express airline incidental credit. And that post has been reporting through multiple sources across Reddit, multiple data points across Reddit. So we're going to call the data point the source, but let's carry on. That the United Travel Bank hack, where you put $200 into the United Travel Bank and you get credited back for the airline incidental credit on the American Express Platinum card, no longer works. So if this is in fact the case, it is most likely, I'm going to say most likely, due to American Express tightening the loophole that existed, because Travel Bank is not an incidental. Any other service fees attached to your flights or itineraries, things like that, those would be the incidentals. Checking your bag would be an incidental. Your day pass to a lounge would theoretically be an incidental. The Travel Bank, though, was never really an incidental. It was always just a nice little loophole that was always exploited. So what is most likely the case is American Express has decided to tighten that loophole and close it so that it doesn't get exploited. How does it get exploited? If you are someone who happens to have American Express Platinum cards and you throw $200 in on the Travel Bank from jump, so it is safe to assume that the Travel Bank hack is closed. Why would American Express do this? That's a lot of free money to be putting into travel banks, and they've let it go for a long time. And we're entering, I don't know, a moment of economic instability. And the banks are far more aware of where things are in terms of credit and how much folks can actually pay for things and how much the bank is willing to expose itself to being willing to pay for things. So the simple answer is most likely American Express has closed this because they got to start tightening up some ships here and there. They've been blasting money left and center over the last, 2 years. Look at all of the 300,000 point business platinum welcome offers that are available. All of the no lifetime language offers that are floating around. They are just shooting points out of their potato gun of magic and points. And at some point, they got to start cutting back a little bit. So the airline incidental would probably be the first place they could cut back, where they could tighten this, see that people will adapt and do something different. And therefore, they will have that loophole closed while still letting folks get away with quite a bit. So I'm going to assume that this was American Express. It would be funny if this was Chase making a play through United, but how that works, I don't know. I think it would be funny. I don't think that's the case. The simplest answer is probably the most likely answer, which is American Express has to start belt tightening somewhere, somehow, some way, without showing that the magical points mountain that they're letting people run down like crazy may not be as sustainable as they'd like you to think. So yeah, they're probably driving record profits. They're probably driving this, that, and the other. But Travel Bank was never the intended purpose of an incidental credit. Don't be surprised if you see Chase start to lock in on some of the things that work for travel and incidentals on, say, the Ritz-Carlton card. Maybe Chase will have to make some restrictions on the $300 travel credit on the Sapphire Reserve, which would suck. But that is at least labeled as a travel credit that reimburses travel. That is not labeled as an incidental credit, where exploits to incidental was always used. So I don't think anything's going to touch the $300 Sapphire Reserve credit. I wouldn't be surprised if airline incidental credits start to get scaled back, but we'll just have to see. Anyway, for now, it appears that the American Express Platinum no longer be able to be used to simply hack away and get yourself $200 in United Travel Bank credit whenever you see fit, with however many platinums you happen to hold. So there you go. Anyway, we'll see what happens. We'll see how folks adjust, because the community always adjusts. We'll see what the next exploit is. But just know, it was never really in the terms that you could get away with this. Amex was just very forgiving, and right now is not a moment when banks can particularly be very forgiving due to rising economic uncertainty. Gee, I wonder where that came from. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. If you like what I do, hit the like and subscribe button. Check out the Stack Your Points podcast, stackyourpoints.com. We do it live on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Check us out there. But thanks so much for watching. Talk to you soon. Check out the pinned comment for other ways to support me outside of YouTube. If you want to support me here on YouTube, $2.99 a month, you can become a Tidbit collector. Membership's there and available if you want it. Talk to you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.